Hello and welcome to the RaidzBank podcast. My name is Hoyt and I am joined here with Mr. Heartless. How are you, sir?
Yo, what's going on, Hoyt? I'm doing well.
Good. Poplo unfortunately won't be on this episode, but he's not a super big Leagues guy anyways, so I don't think he'll be too upset, but we'll miss him. He'll be on the next one, I'm sure. Shut up, Poplo. Today's gonna be a really big episode. It's basically, I don't know what we want to call it, but like a mega guide, mega overview, review, a prep for League 6. We're gonna go into in-depth, well, kind of high level on just everything in there. So you guys can imagine there's a ton to cover between new weapons, echo bosses, the new demonic pack system, relics, all that. But before we get in there, Heartless, what have you been up to the last few weeks?
Yo, Hoyt. So since we had I was off for an episode and then we had big double shine on, so didn't really get to chat, but I did finish that bingo. That was almost 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah. How was that?
So it was really fun. Yeah, I like to be on Michael Oxy's team. We had a blast. Everyone was great. I won't go into it too much, but I did end up getting a huge drop during bingo.
Oh, really? Okay. What was it?
Yeah, I pulled an Inquisitor's plate skirt.
Let's go.
I know. So I completed Inquisitors.
No way.
Which is
That's huge.
An outrageous set to get an Iron Man. It
Mace
takes so
and all?
long. No mace.
Okay.
Just the armor. So obviously, mace is kind of like a side grade to the scythe.
Yeah.
In certain locations, you basically don't have to use charges. I don't think at the current point in time it's worth going for.
No.
But the actual set, like completing the set, is sick because it gives you the bonus everywhere you use it.
Yeah.
So I'm really spooned. I think I had 400 Fasani's Nightmare KC and like 200 regular Nightmare, which was just a mix of group sizes.
Wow.
So
that's
an
awesome.
outrageous spoon. It feels good though. It's been maybe a while since I've gotten this spoon somewhere, and we're gonna take that W for sure.
As you should. GZ, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And then besides that, I've just been working strictly on combat achievements, starting with the Coliseum. I have to bless my quiver, and if anyone doesn't know how you do that, you need 150,000 Sunfire Splinters, which you can only get from, well, realistically, in large quantities, you can only get from Coliseum. You get 4,000 guaranteed for each Dazana's Quiver you turn in, like after every kill. And you also get between, let's say 1 and 3,000 per run, depending on how lucky you are. So I'd say it averages out around 6K per completion. But holy shit, Hoyt, that content is so hard, man. I spent multiple weeks just planking. I even had 10kc when I started the grind, I knew a little bit about what I was doing, but I was still being a baby and I was using mage and melee. I fully committed to learning melee properly, and even that, I had so many deaths, man. It was triggering at times, but I did bless my quiver. I have 27kc now, so I'm definitely getting the hang of it. A few things still kill me here and there, but I'm beginning to learn, but damn, is it ever not the most difficult content that I've done in the game.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not looking forward to getting my first quiver. I can imagine doing 10 and
I tell you what, the first one is doable. You can make your way through, you can get a little lucky with the spawns, you can pillar hop, but when you have to grind out the 25kc, there's no excuse, you just have to learn it, and it's just brutal. And I'm not the most mechanically gifted player, so it always takes me a little bit longer to learn things. I have 2 combat achievements left. One of them is probably the hardest one, reinforcements, where you have to have bees, which constantly spawn and come after you. You also need to have...
I heard that one's terrible.
What is it? You need Solar Flare, which is not that bad, and then you need Quartet, which is also not that bad. But when you have them all together, just getting them is hard. So I had a run where I got to wave 11, but I just didn't get bees 2. And then I died. So you know what? I think I can get it done. And then I have to do perfect Sol, which I've been extremely close to, but I've just been trolled by his solar flare, his acid pools that he puts on the ground. You have to basically do a perfect kill. And I've been screwed a couple times, but I think I just need some more reps for that. So I'm hoping within maybe 5 more KC, I should get it done. So
Yeah, I heard.
I have so many thoughts about it. I have so many thoughts about the content, both good and bad. that
I
I
heard
think
for
I'd love to
the
discuss, but maybe not today.
hardcore. Yeah, the hardcore GMs, I believe they've said like one of the hardest ones is the reinforcement task because it's just so risky and awful.
Part of the problem learning it is
not.
that you have to, because you can get things that are on you right away and that are threatening your life, but you have to kill the Fremenniks, which immediately spawn. There's 3 of them, and taking Quartet means there's now 4, so it takes you that extra 25% to deal with the Fremies, which means things are hitting you for longer, and it's just very scary.
Yeah.
So I think it's doable on a hardcore, but there'd be a lot of tellies, like a lot of resets.
Yeah.
Which is
they certainly
not
do
ideal.
it, but I said it's one of like the ones they save for last because it just sucks.
For sure. So. I do want to talk about Coliseum and like the good and the bad of it. I do think it's like great content. But
we'll do a deep dive.
We'll do a deep dive one day, but there are some things that bother me about it for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right.
But besides that, that's been me, dude. So it's pretty chill. What about you, Hoyt? It's been a while since I've got to see your progress in World of Warcraft. So what's been going on?
Yeah. Well, it's been good. I'm doing agility. I am almost 98. Maybe I'll get it this episode. Actually, no, I won't. I'll get it right after this episode. Which is good. I wanted to get it at Sepulchre. I'm just missing like the Dark Acorn from there, but of course, I don't think that'll happen. This is just way too chill. I can do it while doing other things. But I've been busy with IRL stuff. We were kind of talking about, helping plan a wedding and maybe get a house soon. And then I had my 30th birthday this weekend. I celebrated, so...
Congrats, Hoyt. A lot of stuff going on for you.
Yeah.
When are you getting married? What month?
August. Middle of August.
Yeah. I'm getting married in July, so it's going to be a very festive summer for the RaidzBank boys.
Yeah.
Poplo, of course, already married because he's a farmer. He was married when he was like 23, so.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe Poplo and a guest will host an episode or two. We'll see.
That's probably for sure. Are you doing a honeymoon or anything like that?
No, I think we're going to do like a 3 or 4 day trip and then do a big trip on our 1-year anniversary.
Nice. That's a good call.
I want to go to Europe. I've never been, so we'll see if we can swing that.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, all right. What about you? You doing a honeymoon anywhere?
Yeah, all my family lives in England, so we're kind of doing like a secondary wedding visit there.
There you go.
Awesome. So we're gonna go for 3 weeks. So we'll spend a week with our family. Like parents will go over, and then we'll have a couple weeks to ourselves, where we can like tour around Scotland and pop over to Ireland and stuff. So it'll be a fun trip. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'd love to take 3 weeks off. Unfortunately, the U.S. capitalism doesn't really allow that.
Yeah, well, teach your life.
Is the life.
12 paid weeks off per year is pretty nice.
My best man, he's actually a teacher, and he, as soon as summer break hit, he's like going to Japan. He's going to some other country, and then he's just instantly traveling everywhere. I was like, damn, dude, that's pretty sick. But all right, now's the time where I'll tell you that we have a Discord where you can talk about League 6 and everything we're going to be sharing today. Tell us your strats, what we got wrong, what you think is being slept on, and the link for that is in the description. There's a special channel just for leagues, and we also have an in-game clan. It is RaidzBank with one word. However, there's a Z, 7S. So RAIDZ or ZBANK. And we do have an 1800 total level requirement. Besides that, we have a Patreon where you can keep the show running for as little as $3 a month. If Patreon's not your thing, consider listening to this one short commercial break. All right, welcome back, and thank you for taking a moment to listen to those. So, League 6, Demonic Packs starts this Wednesday, April 15th. It will run for 2 months, ending on June 10th. And
2 months?
Yeah,
oh
2
my
months,
God.
8 weeks. Yeah,
that's a long time.
I think that's normal. I think they tried 6 weeks once and extended it because it backfired, but don't quote me on that. It is really long, but if you're chasing Dragon Cup and you have a vacation, which was me the last one, this kind of makes it possible. But in reality, most people quit around week 3. and that's fine. So gives everyone a chance to play if they would like to. So if you have never played a Leagues, it's a temporary game mode. Everyone's an Iron Man. You get increased XP rates, drop rates. There's area restrictions, kind of like Swampletics. Combat skill trees, that's a new one. And player power-ups in the form of relics that are just kind of overall buffs. There's also brand new Echo Bosses. They had Echo Bosses before, but they brought some back. And I don't know if all of them got new fights, but they definitely tweaked a lot. There's definitely some new fights in there. So you earn points by completing tasks. It can be as simple as mining an iron ore, or as large as defeating Zuck in the Inferno, and many other things. We do have some new information, and that is our new Echo equipment. Heartless, did you have a chance to look at these new weapons?
Yeah, so I know last time, if you heard the Double Shine episode, I said I was a casual, and I still am, but I did do my research on this league, so at least I'm like somewhat caught up on some of the potential. So yes, I did read about all of them for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we did a lot of prep for this episode, so hopefully we can kind of disseminate the information in a good way for us all. So Echo Bosses, what are they? So you have your normal Cerberus if you unlock Asgarnia, and you do Cerberus for a drop of an orb, and it's like a 1 in 50 rate. You get this orb, and it's called the Asgarnia Echo Orb, or whatever. It unlocks the new Cerberus fight, and Cerberus is now a little different. The room looks different. All the mechanics are new, and you unlock the new drop table, which in that case would give you the ability to get the Fang of the Hound. It's like a 1 in 25 drop, so not that hard to get. But if you go 3 times rate on the orb, it's kind of annoying. We all know how RNG works. There are some new dry protection in there with guaranteed drops, but we won't go too far into that. So yeah, we'll go through all of these, but first let's go quickly through the start. So everyone's going to start in Varlemor, and it has a new Amoxliatl Echo Boss. Last time the Echo Boss was Soul, which is not returning, and that's kind of surprising to me. I thought it was excellent for players like myself who had never fought Soul to go do it with super busted items, because I at least learned the movement a tiny bit. But what do you think about that, Heartless? Did you do the last Echo Bosses?
I did them all. Yeah, I was Relica, because that one was crazy OP.
Mm-hmm.
I was Morytania, I think, and I can't remember my last one. But they were all good. Yeah, I enjoyed the Echo Bosses. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't. I mean, for this one, obviously they did Amoxliatl, and they've changed up some of the items, but they didn't really change too many of them. They kind of kept them the same. It's still Grotesque Guardians, it's still KBD, it's still Cerberus. Most of them, they just kept the same. So I wonder if they're going to give them new mechanics or just run it back.
I know some of them got new mechanics. I don't know if all of them did.
I just find it interesting that they didn't just, do Echo Corp and, switch it up for each region. But it is what it is. Besides that, no, I have nothing else really to add to this. We should just go through the items and have a little peek at what each one does.
Yeah. So, like we said, everyone will have access to the Infernal Tecpatl. So these are just like the Glacial Tecpatl or dual Makahitls. So they attack in with the double hits. They attack in all 3 styles, so you'll have Stab, Slash, and Crush. And they have a 10% Demon Bane modifier, which is big because we don't have access to the usual Demon Bane equipment. Because we can't get into Misthalin, so you can't go down and you can't get all of your Tormented Synapses. And Yama is still going to be in the game, dropping gear and equipment and loot. So your Oath Plate, and everything else. So it has a special attack which costs 50% energy, and it hits 4 times in quick succession, basically like the Dragon Claws. What do you think of these guys, Heartless?
It's sweet. I like that everyone has access to like basically an upgraded version of the Synapse weapon, the melee one.
Yeah. 1 in 30.
So
looks
they'll be
very
great
accessible.
they'll be great at the Moons of Peril, which I think everyone will be doing pretty early as well. So yeah, generally think that this is like a good free item. You know what I mean? It'll get you through the mid to early, and I'm sure there's some like builds that you could go around with these things. So definitely a nice little starter echo item.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You can also see a sneak peek of the fights on the OSRS YouTube, where Skritic went through and he shows some of the fights. This fight looked pretty cool. So I'm excited to try that. All right, we have a lot to cover. So up next we have Asgarnia. Well, I guess we should stop. Is there anything else in Varlemor that you're really looking forward to here, Heartless?
I mean, just doing Coliseum with some like super OP items, having done it now for the last 3 weeks with just regular old items, I think that's going to be really enjoyable. I do, just as a small side point, I think Sol is one of the best fights in the entire game, if not the best fight. It's so incredibly fun and satisfying when you get it down. Challenging enough to learn, but not overly punishing. Like he hits 45s and stuff, which is pretty brutal, but you can survive like a few mistakes. So I think it's just such a cool fight, and I think it's going to be really fun for people to try that out with really busted gear, and kind of everyone to have access to that right away.
Yeah, we do auto unlock Perilous Moons, so that will be nice. You can just go straight to the Moons of Peril.
Gemstone Crab, of course. I think that'll be pretty big. This is we'll see later, but for the dads out there, for the AFKers, this is going to be good leagues for us.
Yeah.
So, well, not us yet, but you know what I mean. I'm throwing myself in that category.
Other notable things, we have like Dragon Hunter Wand, you can get Virtus, you can get the Ultor Ring, we'll unlock Vardorvis off the bat. There's even like the new Antler Guard. Varlemor is a great starting point. I chose it for the last leagues because it was kind of new, and they even have like a whip and Abyssal Dagger drop here, unsired. Why do these count? Because fairy rings, I guess?
Yeah, I guess so.
Apparently they're accessible. That's interesting.
No.
Okay. Well, I like that. Oh, wait, we unlock Doom off the bat as well.
Yeah, Doom, if you want to do that. You should be able to get the treads, right? The unupgraded treads.
Yeah. And the
so everyone will have access to that. And like Doom should be like it's already in the main game, has really good drop rates. Yeah. It's going to be nuts in leagues. You're going to have a few runs and you're going to be seeing glow holes basically every other run.
That's awesome. Yeah, it says up to like a 1 in 25 drop rate with the highest modifier for the boots.
Yeah,
so
and that's like on
awesome.
each wave, right? So it's probably even less when you can go delve really deep when you're like two-shotting Doom, right?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really good.
Looking forward to it. All right, so that's Varlemor. I'm sure we'll talk about it more later, but we'll move on to Asgarnia. You will unlock Cerberus, the Echo Cerberus, which will drop the brand new Fang of the Hound. This is a one-handed dagger. It has a 5% chance to cast Flames of Cerberus at the target. It's a fire spell with a base max hit of 10 and can increase with weakness and magic strength. It's kind of interesting, like a melee weapon that scales on magic strength. So
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but does this one like go with so one thing they're adding into this league is this insane Path of Exile style, a game that I've never played, skill tree where you'll basically be able to unlock 40 points worth of upgrades.
Yeah.
It's very open-ended. It's less, I was like, yo, fuck this when I saw that. I just wanted to tap out of leagues right away when I saw all those nodes. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to tap right away, but then I realized you can kind of just look at the very outsides.
Yep.
And read like the big OP passives and then be like, all right, well, I'll just click on this and it'll path me towards it. So like coming from the casual perspective, it's not that big of a deal. And you get a few like redos. So if you don't like your build and you're like, wow, this is terrible, and you see some streamer doing some insane build, you're like, you want to try that? Then you can readjust everything. So it's not a huge deal. I think that is kind of nice. So the FOMO will be like pretty limited when it comes to the system, even though it looks overwhelming at first. I think it's like less not as bad as you think, though I'm still not like super fond of the direction. I don't know about you, Hoyt. I know this is probably like a later talking point, but it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, we will get into it, but I had the same reaction. I like it was very visceral, like, hell no, I hate this. This is crazy, ridiculous. I don't like I'm not gonna say I don't like, but Path of Exile doesn't work for me. I've tried to play it a few times because everyone loves it and it's a very successful game for a reason. But for me, there's like I get a big FOMO if I made the wrong choice, and there's so many choices you're kind of bound to.
That's 100% like most people's problem with leagues, right? Is the FOMO.
Yeah, and like you have to. In Path of Exile, I've been told as a noob that you have to pick a build and then start the game like with the build in mind, like following it perfectly. But if you've never played the game, you don't know what playstyle you like or what class. Like, so is it?
I know nothing about the game at all, like zero, except that it's called Path to Exile, and that one of the J mods, specifically Mod Arcane, is obsessed with it.
Did you play Diablo?
Is it no? Is it I've never played it. Never played it. So I guess when you say, is it a pretty bad learning experience? I guess yes. Talking to someone who that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is why they're giving us these free rerolls. I still don't love that they're using it as like inspiration, but whatever. This is leagues. They can have a little fun with it, so it's all good.
I think what Path of Exile players would tell you to do is play the game and basically freestyle your first skill tree. Just like try to get familiar with the game. And then that character is going to be trash. And you're going to, once you kind of have your bearings and what the game is, then you figure out what build you want and you start a new character.
That seems so dumb because that's like playing the main game in RuneScape for 6 months and then being like, yo, actually the main game is Iron Man.
Restart.
So once you know what you're doing, then you build your Iron Man.
It's kind of exactly like Iron Man. Yeah,
if you knew that going into the game, if everyone knew that they're going to spend like 6 months to a year playing main, and then everyone was going to be like, yo, actually Iron Man is where the main game's at. Like, you come over here. And then everyone would do that. I'm not saying that's not how the game is. You can just keep playing your main. But if it was like that, we would have way less players joining up. 100%. Yeah. If you knew you were just going to waste a year learning just to re-roll, yeah, on an MMO, assuming Path is an MMO.
Yes, yeah.
Then nah, I'm not about that life. But anyway, we continue. What were we talking about? We're on this like light. So does the Fang of the Hound synergize with the like? There's one of the paths that you can take. Yes. Basically, specking into like ultra light weapons. Is that the right one, or am I off base?
Oh, maybe. Let me. I'll pull it up here. We're looking at it. Two-handed, heavy, under 1 kg. Oh.
You don't know about that one? I know there's some like
kg. I didn't know about that. That's sweet.
So I think there's a very I don't really like when I said I did research. Like I know kind of what the weapons do roughly, but I don't know the build paths. But basically, with this weapon, if you go for Cerberus,
that's
in this area, you're gonna have access to this like ultra light weapon build, which is apparently gonna be pretty sick. So.
So melee weapons under 1 kilogram will always trigger an additional melee hit using 40% of your base max hit. I mean, that's
so. I
massive.
think you can go with this like echo stacking build. So basically, more hits you get, the more echoes you get. So you can go like pretty quick and be in there like
That's awesome.
I guess a D&D 2nd edition rogue just backstabbing left and right. So that's pretty cool.
Dude, it's a 3-tick weapon too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's quite fast. It's quite fast. I think so. I think specifically if you're going for that like light weapon build, you're gonna want to spec into Kandarin, right? Kandarin?
No, this is Asgarnia.
Oh, it's Asgarnia. So you get God Wars too. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool. All right. I think it's cool that they're adding like a spell and the and the magic damage scaling on like your mage strength is nutty. It's just I don't know what you're gonna wear. But I'm excited to see.
I don't know.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Up next we have the let's talk about Asgarnia real quick. So you got the Cerberus boots. You've got the Dragon Defender, which will go great with your new Fang the Hound. You got your armor, Bandos. You have Virtus. You have Nax. Heartless, you going to be doing some Nax?
Absolutely. Probably not. I'll tell you my build that I'm going for later, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. And you have the ACB, of course. You got some, the Z Spear if you choose Wilderness and do Corp, but we'll talk about that later. Torva, massive. So you can get a ton of... I think every PVM Andy's going to want to pick this, as long as the other options aren't crazy. So I kind of got my eyes on the Fang the Hound. You're selling me on this this build. Is there anything in Asgarnia you wanted to touch on?
No, not really. I think it's a fun region if you like doing God Wars Dungeon, which a lot of people do, right?
Yeah, very much. All right, on to Kandarin. This is the one that kind of got shit on in the past, but now is turning into kind of an S tier pick. I'm trying to go into this like with my own research instead of just regurgitating what the meta is. So I'm kind of interested to see what the meta is.
I really don't know anything about any builds. Yeah, I watch basically no videos either. So
yeah, there's
I'm
just
going
not
in with fresh noob eyes, if you will.
Yeah, there's not a lot in this region, which is the whole problem. The main thing was Smoke Devil, of course. There's also the Trident, which would be nice. The Warp Scepter you can get early. And then just weird items like your Dragon Full Helm, your Draconic Visage, Smoldering Stone from Hellhounds. Interesting, okay. Zenyte Shards are big, but you usually don't need Zenyte Shards in leagues because there's just better choices or there's new things like... I'm pretty sure the Makihito Cloth will just give you the upgraded version of the Zenyte Tormented anyways, so yeah. And then there's like ballistas. No one wants ballistas. Kraken Tentacle, it doesn't really matter. So nonetheless, it introduces 2 Echo weapons, one of them returning the Devil's Element. They did buff this big time so that more people use it. So now it just adds a 30% elemental weakness against all elements. It also has a unique effect where it will cast in... No, that's the Shadow Flame Quadrant. Okay, so yeah, it's just 30% elemental weakness against all elements, in addition to any existing weakness. So you basically have a 30% magic buff on every single monster in the game, which is awesome. And it comes with the Shadow Flame Quadrant, so you could wear these both at the same time. This is brand new. It is an infinite source of elemental runes. It can auto-cast from all spellbooks. When using the standard spellbook, it will cast an additional attack, kind of like the Twin Flame Staff, and which would deal 40% of the damage of the first attack. And when attacking a monster with elemental weakness, it will always use the spell the target is weakest to. So really just like a buffed Twin Flame Staff. And the Smoke Devil fight looks really fun if you watch the video. Heartless, what do you think of these 2 Echo weapons?
Yeah, I'm not a big mage guy when it comes to leagues. I tried it once and it was the meta in one of the leagues. And I ended up like crashing out before I got to the best in slot gear. One of the problems I have, can we do like a tiny aside on metas for a second?
Sure.
There's always like a meta build, right? When it comes to leagues, there's like the most damage build. I remember once it was like mage. Everyone wanted like the 2-tick shadow, and then one league, I don't remember which one it was. Everyone wanted a 2-tick scythe with a blood fury and crystal armor because it was like going out of control with the damage. But both times I decided to go for the meta build, and you need all the items to make it good. And I crashed out before I even got close to the build. Like totally couldn't handle it. I was like, no, this is so lame. I don't want to do, 5-tick dragon longsword training for the longest time. So I ended up being just totally out on that board when it came to these builds. So now I kind of just go with what I feel like is good, which is typically range. And I kind of stay away from mage. So realistically, I just kind of breezed over this item, but it does seem pretty sick that the Devil's Element has been like giga upgraded. That's all I'll have to say. Do you have any thoughts? Because I haven't really deep delved onto this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I did. Last leagues, I did a meta build, which was 2-tick Tebow wearing full Justy and like the Dagannoth equipment, so like the ring and neck, and it was just giga busted. It was a lot of fun, but it was definitely like cheat code. Would I do it again? Yeah, it's one of the reasons I was able to just barely get a Dragon Cup. So we'll see. I'm on the fence. I'm leaning towards going in blind, having fun, and not following. There's like, it's either 0 or 100 for me, and
okay,
we'll see. I might like last minute just go the meta build because I really think I'm gonna push, but hopefully not. The meta thing's tough and it can burn you out, and that's the least efficient thing you can do is get burned out. So these two weapons, to answer you, I think they're quite underwhelming. But the Devil's Element basically opens up Mage in the game everywhere to just do good damage. Some places it'll be best, but now it'll just always be good. And in the past, it was very like sink or swim, or your build is, horrible until Shadow, which is kind of, later in the leagues. So,
yeah, I mean, it's probably might be the same thing still, because surely Shadow's the best thing you could be doing with Mage.
Yeah, Shadowflame Quadrant seems like nice to have,
I guess,
but
unless you're doing one of those like
using it.
Might be cool doing like a barrage build where you're just like constantly barraging things. That'd be kind of fun too.
Yeah,
but
that would be sick. All right, let's take a look at Kandarin, the zone itself. You'll auto-complete Monkey Madness 2, King's Ransom, Swan Song, Dragon Slayer 2. So the backpack comes from here. Okay. Hand in the Sand. Yeah, all that. Okay. Yeah, you unlock Smoke Devils. We talked about the items. I didn't mention the Occult, of course, comes from here, so that will always be good. Yeah, is there anything else in Kandarin you want to touch on?
No, I don't think. I think it's still going to be the least picked of all the regions, despite this.
Yeah, I wish I looked into it a little more, but I feel like I've heard it will be a strong choice. It might be something to do with the points being like fast to get here. It might just be a good point region, or it's not fun or anything, but it's efficient for like the number of tasks versus how rewarding it is. So that would make sense. In the past, they didn't have enough tasks, so there are fewer points. Now that they've equalized all the points, it would make sense that this one that struggled would be good because they like buffed it. So, not sure. All right, up next we have Echo Hispore, which will drop the brand new Nature's Recurve. So, Nature's Recurve is pretty straightforward. It's a bow. It can fire any arrows, and it has a 50% chance to restore the player's HP and prayer by 10% of the damage dealt. So every time you're hitting, you get 10% of your hit restored to your HP and prayer, but it's 50% of the time. So
yeah, we always knew Hispore had a big curved bone, so now you get to make a bow out of it. This one looks really cool. This one looks really sick. There's like a short bow spec you can go into. There's like a short bow route, and this one will basically be constant healing. So you will like not even need food or prayer to like get through a lot of boss encounters. You can basically like perma hit stuff, and it's like a classic short bow, right? It's like a 3-tick. So
yeah, 3-tick
should be zooming.
Long range up to 9 tiles. I think I know Melee had like the halberd build we'll get into. I don't think Range had a demonic pact with the like a tile distance thing, but that would be cool. I'd have to double check.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
Yeah.
It has like changing speeds, but not distance.
Nor would you want it to, because it'll still be 3, ticks.
This is notable. You can do Infernal with this too, so should be chill.
Ooh, very true. Okay. All right. Let me find my screen here again. Okay, so that is Kourend, and of course, you need to unlock Kourend if you want to do any chambers. Historically, chambers has been, I mean, maybe second place for the raids and leagues because Tob just dominates. Not only is it fun, but everyone can get a purple.
And it also you get the Slayer Helm, which is like the really big part, right? Like Tob tied in with getting a Slayer Helm kind of comes in like a package deal that you can't really say no to. And I think again that might be the issue. That might be something this league. But yeah, Kourend, this one's decent. They've offset it with like you can take Grimoire. So really the big thing from Kourend is you get access to the Rigor and Augury. But Rigor specifically, if you're going a range build, you kind of need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can pick Grimoire later. We'll get into that, which will give you all the prayers without having to go to Kourend. Let's look at some unlocks. You unlock a Kingdom Divided, which means you get Thralls. I don't know if that's really worth it in leagues. I don't recall seeing a lot of Thralls in leagues unless you picked Grimoire, but even then, I don't think you could cast...
so your DPS is so high it barely matters.
Yeah,
in the main game they're like half a DPS, and they will be in leagues too, which is basically nothing compared to what you're dealing.
Yeah. So of course Kourend would unlock the T-Bow, Dragon Hunter crossbow, your full Ancestral, Dragon Claws, the Elder Maul. You got the Kodai wand, all those uniques. Now the T-Bow will be from all 3 raids, but the other uniques will not. Vertus is accessible everywhere, so it's a substitute for Ancestral. You do unlock Wintertot, but you don't need that, of course. Hydra, so Dragon Hunter Lance, Ferocious Gloves, really just not worth picking.
Yeah, you're picking it for chambers, basically, if you're picking this region.
Oh, you need to pick this in order to do Yama, I think. Because it's showing Yama on here, and it's not showing it for the other regions. Even though you start in Yama's lair.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. This is the first leagues with Oathplate in the game. So that's kind of why we're working through this. But that will go to make sense. This kind of buffs the region.
Oathplate is like less valuable than it is in the main game, because main game, the accuracy means a lot, but in leagues you get a bunch of things that like nuke your accuracy like through the ceiling.
I guess that's true. You could just do Asgarnia, but if you really don't want to do next...
You could just go Torva, or you could just get Bandos. There's lots of choices.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything else in here. Anything else you want to talk about with Kourend? It's obviously a great region because it's freaking huge. There's so much like just skilling and bossing and fun content. Unfortunately, it's not always like an S tier or even A tier pick for leagues. It's usually in like the B tier. Like if you're a Chambers enjoyer, you should pick it. But
here's another thing: like when it comes to like picking regions, and we're talking like, you know, you're saying words like S tier versus like, you know, F tier regions. It depends on what you're going for. Like, what are your league's goals? Most people, I would say, their goals are not to get Dragon Cup. They want to just have a good time with the leagues, maybe do some PVM they've never done. Yeah, do a specific build. They want to do something more specific, so the region should be picked around that rather than, you know, getting the best amount of points or the easiest Dragon Cup possible. Or some people want to get the most power with the least amount of playtime, which is kind of what I want to do. So there's a lot of different reasons why you pick regions, and you just got to keep that in mind. So like for me, I'm probably not going to go for Dragon Cup, but I do want to do like a very specific crossbow build that I'll get into later. And I'm going to pick Wilderness first because it's like a sweet region to go for. It's probably not meta, but you know, it's an important part of my build, so I'm going to go for it. I think that's pretty key to think about when you do this kind of stuff. When you're talking like S tier, F tier, etc.
Very true. Yeah, that's a good point. Whereas
like you're specifically coming from the perspective of I want Dragon Cup, which I bet you most of the listeners are probably more in my camp. So I'm just saying, like, you as the listener have to think about what your goals are in the league and what's the best way for you to accomplish that. And you can't really go wrong with any of the regions, except so far as a casual, Kandarin looks fucking awful. And Mage does generally too. But I think that's all I have to say so far. So we can keep ripping through it.
And I think most people, I don't know, I won't say most people. What a lot of people do is they have a build in mind, and maybe it's a Nature's Recurve build. And they know they're going to be wearing Nature's Recurve, and they're going to be wearing the Crystal Blessing, and they know they're going to be wearing V's Helm. I'm just making something up, but that right there would then reverse engineer your entire experience. You're like, no matter what, I'm going to pick Kourend, Fremennik, and Taranwyn, and that could be totally different than your friend's setup, because he's like, I really want to do this new Lithic Scepter and run Tob, and the Lithic Scepter is only going to be good if I get this other item. So it reverse engineers and unfolds. So
some people want to like get some Tob experience. Not saying like you're going to learn a ton, but at least you can get involved and see the rooms with like low pressure environments where no one's going to die. I think that's really fun too. So if you're motivated by group content, then that can shift your regions as well. There's lots of different things that could kind of make you pick and choose what you're going to go for.
Another hot choice, if you want to get into raids and for some reason you're nervous or scared to get in there, what you should do is you should take Kourend, Morytania, and Desert and go run the raids with cheat codes, so that there's so much more confidence you'll have when you've been in the boss room. No, you haven't done the quote-unquote real fight, but you'll know what the mechanics look like. Just being in the room once makes you feel a bit more confident. So,
League's experience, by the way.
Yeah, League's experience. All right, up next we have Fremennik, and they will unlock, that region will unlock the Dagannoth Kings, their Echo variant, which drops the brand new V's Helm. In the past, the Dagannoth Kings dropped really busted ring and necklace, and then in Gridmaster they dropped a really cool helmet everyone loved. So the V's Helm seems a bit similar to that Gridmaster helmet, but I don't know. It's actually entirely different, but visually it looks kind of similar. So the V's Helm has a 5% chance to reduce damage to 0 when hit directly with 1 or more damage. If this effect triggers, the player's next special attack within 60 seconds will be free. It has no cooldown, and the helm counts as an imbued Slayer helm, so you don't have to go to Morytania if you choose Fremennik and you get the V's Helm. So again, I'll say that it's kind of convoluted. So while you're wearing this, every time you take damage, there's a 5% chance you get a free special attack, which is sick. Heartless, what do you think of the V's Helm?
I don't really like it. It feels anti-leagues to me, like you have to constantly be paying attention to whether or not you're getting that 5% chance for the free spec. Yeah. It seems like a little bit too much micromanagement for me personally. I think it looks cool, and I think it's great that you can get an extra version of the Slayer helm. But compared to that party hat thing that we had in Gridmaster, this ain't it. This ain't it for sure. So I would say this is a skip for me personally. But I'm sure it's pretty nasty in some very specific spec builds.
Yeah,
What do you think?
You also you don't want to be taking damage. I don't know.
Well, you're going to be like, this leagues is a little different. But... like you can get 180 something HP, can't you? You can get double 99. I think you can get 180 HP, so you can be like stocked up and you can have a build that tanks damage to like reflect stuff. But I don't know. I still think that this V Helm seems too micromanagey to be fun to use personally, but I'm sure there's some nasty spec builds out there.
And if you do take damage, that means you'd have to take 20 different hits just for one free spec. I mean, on fights, I'm thinking of like Kefri swarms or something that's hitting you constantly. But you should be, if you don't pray against them, maybe this could be cool, but it seems hard to get value out of. Let's look at Fremennik as a region. So you auto-complete Horror from the Deep, Dragon Slayer 2, Drain Mentor. So that means you get Lunar Spellbook. a bunch of other quests, animal magnetism. Okay. And then notable items. You get the Draconic and Skeletal Visage, so you can do Vorkath here. You can get the DK rings. You can get Basilisk Jaw, I guess. Other than that, you do unlock Leviathan. Is that correct? Is that the... No, it's Duke. Okay, Duke is in
Leviathan
this region.
I don't think you can get to Leviathan this time because it's in Mithlin.
Okay. Yeah, so Duke is unlocked here. I don't think Heartless will be doing any more of him. I don't know.
Dookie.
And that will, of course, unlock Virtus and Soul Reaper Axe.
Well, you have those unlocked right off the bat too with Vardorvis. So
yeah, exactly. It doesn't open much.
You don't really.
It just opens up the Magus Ring, whatever. So that could be good for a mage build. That could be the best in slot. Should be. And then you can also get the Venator Bow from Phantom Muspa. So that would be cool, maybe. Depends on the build. Anything else in Fremennik you want to talk about?
No, I don't think. I think it's like a cool region, but like, yeah, it's a little bit niche.
Yeah, I think Poplo might choose this to do some penguin agility.
Yeah, I've always wanted Poplo to 100 million agility XP, leagues only.
Hell yeah.
only to not get the pet. Imagine going dry.
Oh no. Yeah, he got it, thankfully, on the podcast. So, all right. Up next we have Heartless's favorite, the Wilderness.
Let's go.
There will be a King Black Dragon Echo boss, and it will drop the brand new King's Barrage. It's a new crossbow, which always shoots 2 bolts at once, but divides the max hit of each hit splat in half. The first bolt counts as a crossbow attack. The second counts as an ice attack, which will always freeze the target in place for 24 ticks. This can be toggled off if you're doing Slayer and don't want it. It also has the Corp Bane ability, so it does full damage to Corp. There's no spec that I see, though. So Heartless, are you excited about this new double crossbow?
I was going to go crossbows / T-bow or whatever. I was going to go range no matter what came out in this league. Like, I always go range because as someone who comes at it from I don't want to crash out in the first few days, range is super OP right off the bat. Like, you get access to darts and knives like right away, so you can start training. It's only 1 skill. You don't have to train 3 like melee. It just feels really good to use in leagues. So I was already going to basically main the rune crossbow, which you can get super easily from the Wilderness. And now they come out with this thing. Like, yeah, I'm going to base my build around this item, I think. It looks nasty. And I think you're going to be hit. There's some Path of Exile choices that you can make to like make it hit like in the hundreds for sure.
That's awesome.
So I think this will be a really fun build. And I think it's going to be pretty easy to use. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's interesting. I was kind of surprised because I'm sure most people had this experience. I'm reading it. It's like 2 crossbow bolts at once. I'm like, oh my God, it's crazy. And
double
then
damage,
it says,
but it's actually...
And then we'll divide it in half. I was like, what does that mean like mathematically?
I think it's just basically an upgraded version, right, of a regular crossbow. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering about the spec as well. I thought I read... the spec, like a ruby spec, what would happen?
If you spec with a ruby, it would be 255s, I would assume. But
yeah, that would make sense.
But there's going to be, I think, you're going to be able to get your regular hit well above rubies, I assume, this league's.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think you're going to be hitting like big number. There is like some weird thing where you can make it 7 ticks, so you can make it extremely slow, but it hits harder. I think that's might be the meta with this thing, but I don't know. I think it'll be really fun to use, so I'm definitely going to go for it.
Interesting.
And I like the Wilderness. I know we talked. There's like there's like the 3 Wilderness bosses, Scorpia, etc. But you get access to the Slayer caves, which is a really good way to train your Slayer. You get access to. Do you get access to Krystilia? I can't remember.
I'll see if I
I have to assume so. I can't remember because that used to be in Misthalin, right?
Yes,
Edgeville,
Cristelia assigns tasks like any other Slayer Master, not assigning wilderness-specific tasks. That's cool.
I wonder if you're just not going to be able to access her, or maybe Edgeville will be okay. I don't really know about that, but I just love the wilderness. The best part for me is that you get access to the blighted stuff right away, so you can kind of delve into your PVM journey if that's your goal really easily without having to do like a bunch of farming tasks or skilling tasks. So it kind of accelerates your game plan, and I'm a big fan of that for sure.
I will say, and this is very niche, but collection logs are a big source of points, and especially if you're going for like for min-maxing, they will be a task for 750 collection logs.
Holy
and the
moly.
wilderness is a great source of collection logs.
Is it really? Why is that?
Just because think about the Revenant's log, think about all the boss logs, the different upgrade pieces. You have Corp. It's just there's like a lot of bosses in one area, but really you should get all your collection logs pretty much from like clues.
You're gonna have to take that clue relic, which we'll go over later, I'm sure. But yeah, we better go through these echoes because we're already like an hour in. So
yeah, so talking about what you unlock with Wilderness, you have Revenants, so all 3 of the weapons. You have your Voidwaker, would be amazing. Heartless, you can go for your Amulet of Eternal Glory.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely gonna do that in leagues. My God.
Yeah. And then you have your like Elysian Sigil, which could be sick for like the Thorns build. Imagine Thorns build with Elysian. Oh my God, that'd be sick. But yeah, besides that, I mean I don't think I'm missing anything here. There's some training methods and stuff as well. The agility course for quick cash. But anything else you want to talk about in Wilderness?
No, it's a great region. Would recommend.
Okay. Up next, we've got 3 more. We have Morytania will unlock the Grotesque Guardian's Echo boss, which will drop the new Lithic Scepter at a 1 in 25 rate. Heartless, this was my raids for a mega rare that I pitched.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet to
sick.
see it. You want to explain it to the people who didn't hear that episode?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I'd have to pull up the old script and what it was.
Oh, you can just read this one, but it was similar, same idea.
Yeah, my idea was a one-handed mace that when you deal a killing blow to something like a rat, you get 1 charge, and then they cap out at 10. You can unequip it and wait, and then basically pull this out, and you could use all 10 stacks to like do a huge hit on a boss, like a spec weapon kind of, or you could just use it as normal. But they are basically putting this in the game, so I was very happy to see this. We had the new Lithic Scepter, one-handed magic-powered scepter, so it's not a melee-focused item, which is different. It's charged with earth and body runes. It gains up to 14 stacks of shatter every hit that lands. The shatter stacks can be consumed with a special attack, dealing large damage. The special attack consumes only 5 of the stacks of shatter out of 14, deals 130% of max hits as magic damage, and up to 65% as typeless damage to 12 enemies within 3 tiles. This attack also has a min hit of 10. So basically it's an AoE special attack, and you can bank like 2 of them, almost 3 of them. So there's 14 stacks, you'd need 15 to bank 3 of them. So pretty awesome, but it's kind of like a trident where you charge it up and then you can attack on a 4-tick cycle. You can just shoot Olm's Hand or whatever you're killing. Looks cool. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think this is a sweet weapon, Hoyt. How do you is this something that you might consider going for in the league?
I am doing a melee build, so I don't think so, sadly.
Okay. So sadly not. Yeah.
But I might unlock Morytania, so I might have it anyways. So it might be like my magic weapon of choice if I go that route.
Do you think Morytania will be the most common region, like most popular?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. It just has the best benefits, Tob plus Slayer Helm. I think it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat those two when it comes to any kind of other region doesn't have those kind of standout items. So yeah, definitely pretty sick. So I guess a lot of people will have this one
Barrows.
For free, right? Yeah, it's like an alternative. Yeah, Barrows. But now we have Moons of Perils.
But now we have
less relevant.
it's free. So
yeah, Barrow's gear used to be like basically a lot of people's bis in leagues for like so long, just because it's tanky, right? And you can there's a lot of things that like didn't worry about accuracy, melee plus range specifically.
Yeah. I also think this will be good for collection logs as I'm looking at the list here. So you have your Barrow's armor, which you won't really use because of Moon's Apparel. You got your Grotesque Guardians drops, which will be useless. You have all of your Tob drops, so the Scythe is going to be, everybody's just going to be chasing one. I would imagine they always are, and you can get all 3 Mega Rares from Tob anyways. You also unlock the Nightmare. So Heartless, you go get full Inquisitors again. I don't think you did it.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Once is enough.
Yeah. You got Blood Shards. You have the Nightmare Staff Orbs, so there could be some sort of volatile orb build. We don't know. There's a fire like power up thing. And last but not least, you have the Amulet of Rancor. So I mean, that could be massive because the DKs don't drop the all-in-one necklace anymore. So I think melee builds might want a Rancor.
Yeah, or Blood Fury at minimum, right? So I think meleeers love Morytania.
Also, Noxious Halberd. So anyone doing a Nox Halley build with the Halberd skill tree is going to be picking this. So yeah, I think you're right. This will be probably the most popular one. Anything else in Morytania we want to talk about?
No, I think that covers it.
All right.
I'm sure we're missing like a ton of stuff, by the way, because like you said, we haven't watched a ton, but
take a ton.
Just trying to bring the info.
It's harder than you think to like take all this info and then try to put it into words in a pocket. Like there's just so much to talk about. So we do our best. Up next, we have the Desert. We'll have the KQ Echo Boss. I think this was like a lot of people's favorite Echo Boss. I didn't do it, but a lot of people were raving about this one specifically. And it will give you the Drygore Blowpipe. It's a returning Echo weapon. And unfortunately kind of a boring one, but it's just a blowpipe. It's a good blowpipe. So yeah, I don't think we need to go into the Drygore Blowpipe. It has a 25% chance to inflict burn on the target, which is interesting. It just has a high chance to hit. Yeah. How do you feel about the Drygore Blowpipe?
It's the same as last time. Like if you're wanting to go with a quick option, it's pretty cool. I don't really think I'm gonna build into it. I think I might go, if I'm going for like a secondary weapon, I might go for like a short bow or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. Yeah. Not super great, but I think it's going to be a lot of people's, like, if you want to go for this region, it's not like a main part of the build. It might just be like, when I need to range, I break out the Drygore kind of thing. Yeah. It's like if it's your off style and you have to off style somewhere, like, Olmhead or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So the Desert, if you hate yourself, you can go ahead and go do a bunch of Toa. So just kidding, of course, but you can go get Osmumten's Fang. Lightbearer could be big here. I think Jagex did a really good job taking away the DK's ring and necklace, because you actually have choice whenever something's so dominant. Like, you never unequip that ring. It's just good for everything. So now there could be a lot of Lightbearer builds. I'm sure we'll see it get a lot of use, so that's nice. But again, if you have some special attack power up, it might not be doing anything to help you. It might not be that big. You can get full Masori, so you can get Abyss range gear. You can get, of course, Tunic and Shadow and the other 2 mega rares. And when you get a purple in Toa, everybody in the group gets purple. So will be cool. Besides that, you do actually unlock the Leviathan. Apparently that's tied to the Desert.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And then just Temperos and Guardians of the Rift, so maybe I will pick this Heartless.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I don't think so. Anything else in the desert you want to talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
All right, last but not least, we have Tyrannwyn, which will unlock the Echo Corrupted Hunlift fight, and you get to skip the prep phase, just go straight to the Hunlift fight, and everybody loves that. This will give you the Crystal Blessing, which is returning. However, it did get a few tweaks. So, Crystal Blessing is equipped in the ammo slot and gives the accuracy and damage from crystal armor to all melee weapons and all magic-powered weapons. It also gives plus 2% magic damage and plus 20 magic attack bonus per crystal armor piece equipped. So you could equip full crystal armor, wear this, and then have 6% magic damage, which is pretty cool. That's a new thing that they're doing. What do you think of the Crystal Blessing? Are you
Hoyt, this was the one that made, this was the meta build I was talking about from like melee when you were like scything with the crystal. I think it's cool. I like that they expanded it to mage. So now they're giving mage like options. So if you want to go like full crystal with a, you know, shadow, that'd be pretty nasty. Or like maybe some barrage or, you know, element if you go Kandarin. There's definitely some funky builds you can do with this one. But yeah, this is a strictly non-range at this point, so melee or mage. I think it's great. Like, I love seeing these regions that synergize well with each other.
Yeah. Along with the Crystal Blessing, you will, of course, unlock everything in Tyrannwyn. So you can do the Gauntlet to get your Crystal Armor and your enhanced Crystal Weapon Seeds, so you get Blade of Saeldor and Bofa. You can do Zolcano for Crystal Tool Seed. I don't think anyone's going to do that. Zora is a big one, so you do get a Blowpipe, a Serp. Maybe there's like some sort of poison build you can do. I don't know. People get creative. You can get the Toxic Trident. And, you know, I think Heartless is going to go for full Dragonstone armor. What do you think?
Yes, full Dragonstone. That's the dream, dude. Oh my God.
There's also a Slayer Cave down there. For the Kourend and all the other things down there. Anything else in Tyrannwyn you're looking forward to? It's kind of a good skilling area. You can do thieving and agility and hunter there.
Yeah.
So
really, really excited to do Gwyneth Glide and get some sailing going on. Yeah.
Maybe next leagues.
Maybe next leagues.
All right. Shall we move on to demonic packs?
Let's do it. This is where I think things get a bit more interesting.
Yes, very much. So, demonic packs. This is a complementary system to relics. There's over 130 individual nodes. A player can unlock a total of 40 points to spend on these nodes by completing tasks. You can completely reset your choices only 3 times, one for each unique Echo boss you defeat. These modifiers, like all the choices here, are really limited in PvP. Like some work, some don't. You'd have to look at them specifically. To dumb it down, you are first given a choice between the 3 combat styles, Magic, Ranger, Melee. Ranged is then broken down into 3 different options. So you have like your bows, crossbows, and thrown. Melee's broken up into your 2-hand, your heavy, your light, and then your shield builds. And then mage is broken down to like air, water, fire, and earth. But yeah, I think it would be best to just go through the endpoints.
I agree, because honestly, when you look at the thing, it looks really stupid. Like we said before, it's wildly overwhelming. I think we just hit on the end nodes, because that's like basically what you're working towards. And the things you get along the way are kind of like gravy, right? Whether it's some accuracy, some of them are like small as like 1% range accuracy, or some of them are big, you know, like you now get access to the Thorns ability that reflects damage, kind of like a Ring of Recoil. So there's a bunch of different things in there, but the end nodes are really what you're aiming for.
Yeah. So I'll start and go like clockwise. So at 1 o'clock, we have when the Thorns effect triggers, it will always hit twice, dealing 50% of its damage in the second hit. And Thorns is whenever you're attacked, enemies will be instantly hit with 3 melee damage. Can only trigger once per hit splat, and will trigger if you take 0 damage as well. So basically, if you're wearing a shield, you gain the Thorns effect, and then if you spec all the way into this, it'll end up hitting twice for every single hit splat, which is pretty sick. You're basically just like, you're a tank, but you got
the disciple of the Dinny Bee. You can just wear the Dinny Bee and you can just roam around everywhere. Basically, just really fun. Taking
with
no
some
damage.
Goading potions.
Yeah, you can. This build looks really fun, but very gear dependent.
Mm-hmm. Full Justy, Dens, Goading potions. I don't know. That sounds kind of fun, man. But low APM, I think you'd be standing there just not.
I bet you're gonna with this build, you're gonna be able to like stand there and just completely AFK certain things. Yeah. I wonder if you can completely AFK the Inferno. That would be so cool. If you have like enough tank where you're taking just zeros all day, that'd be pretty fun. I'm sure someone's going to try to do something like AFK every single boss in the game. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. All right. Anything else with Thorns?
I don't think so. This seems fun though.
What grade do you give it? I think
Thorns fun cool. like a A.
I think it's an A, yeah, for fun. I don't. But we don't know what the powers will be, but
I think for pacing though, I think it's more like a C. Like I think it's going to be slow. It's going to be slow to get up to speed, because at first you're actually going to be taking damage when you're low level. But this may be something I could see you know, once you have full Justy and maybe a Dinny Bee, then you respec into this later into the game. That could be maybe the angle that you go for.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like just by choosing a lot of things in here, like 40 points is a lot. You can unlock the entire melee tree.
Yeah, you can get everything.
Damn.
But you're going to want a hybrid in case you're doing like certain content, but still pretty sweet.
That's cool. All right, up next we have, you can go into the light melee weapons, so things under 1 kilogram. I'd be curious to see a list of those. I'll have to look one up real quick. And then the final note here is, whenever you deal damage with a melee weapon, you restore 2% special attack energy per hit. Just constantly regenning spec. That sounds pretty badass to me. What do you think?
Yeah, this light weapon one seems really fun, especially when you get that. You'll kind of have to take the Cerberus though, right, to get that light weapon. I think a whip is under 1 kg as well, so that works.
Yeah, let me see.
But I haven't delved too far into it. But yeah, this does look pretty cool.
I'm just trying to sort by like.
I mean, this is going to go with that blind. There's like a bunch of like spec weapon ones that you get into as well, so I think you want to combine them.
Yeah, I've got a table up here. Going down. Most all daggers, Emberlight, but that's not in the game for this. It kind of stops here. Third Age Longsword is exactly 1 kilogram, so go get that.
There you go.
Yeah, these are all kind of meme weapons. Sarachnis Cudgel, surprisingly.
But you're going to be using this with the Echo Knife from Cerberus, surely. That's
right.
Like that's the whole reason like you're taking this, is to use that Echo item.
Seeing if there are any other options. Abyssal Dagger weighs nothing, so that would be good.
Abyssal Whip, I'm pretty sure, is also under, so that's a nice free one.
Yeah, let's see. Abyssal Whip is under. Yep. So
I think those are kind of like the main things you go for, is like the whip and then into the Cerb weapon. But it's a decent build. I'm not interested though, personally.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we have the heavy weapon. And these are things greater than 1 kilogram. The final node here is, for each unique heavy melee weapon in your inventory, the max hit of your blind bag attacks is increased by 2%, up to a maximum of 10%.
You gotta read blind bag first.
What in the world is blind bag? So blind bag, automatically attack your current target with a random heavy melee weapon in your inventory, as though you have equipped it, ignoring all stat requirements and attack delay. Blind bag attacks can trigger additional blind bag attacks, but cannot trigger from special attacks. And there's a cap of 5 unique weapons. So basically, you put 5 big boy weapons in your inventory, and then you have a chance of a blind bag attack happening where you use one of the weapons from your bag and ignore all attack delay, stat requirements, all that. It just sounds freaking awesome.
This is going to be like one of the most fun builds is just going for like multiple god swords and other heavy, I don't know what the heavy weapons are, but having 5 different spec weapons in your inventory and them just going off randomly and one-shotting things is going to be sick.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I heard a sweaty build. I was just looking at the Discord before this for leagues. Oh, dude, it pains me even say it. It's 4. No, is it more than that? I think it's 4 scythes. There's actually 6. You could just do all 5 scythes because charged and uncharged, and then you have 2 different ornament kits.
Oh yeah, true. So you could.
That's so stupid. I hope that doesn't work.
I think it does.
I'm sorry. I hope you can't just get 6 different scythes and use, like, that just sounds like a terrible meta. But let the kids have their fun.
You do have to get 6. You'd have to get 6 scythes. You'd have to grind a lot, and you have to get the kits.
Get 4 kits.
I mean, the kits are quick on hard modes, aren't they? I'm pretty sure you get them all the time.
Yeah,
because they're increased speed. But getting 6 scythes is no joke.
No,
that's a sweaty build, but that's not one for the casuals. That's for sure.
Our friend Chet went like 80 or 90 tabs without the mega rare voucher, and it took most people like, a handful. So it's not something you want to do. They're not that much faster. 80 or 90 still takes a while. So he wasn't very happy. But I can imagine, you wouldn't go that dry for 6 of them.
Yeah, if you're like committed hard to the league and you like really want to do the thing, then like, yeah, it seems kind of cool. But yeah, you're going to be doing like 200 tabs to get everything you need.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Like, I'm thinking of like, I don't know, just really slow, heavy hitting weapons like, Soul Reaper or Darox. Well, it's not Soul Reaper. Darox came to mind, but that would be bad. But you could have like the Anchor or whatever. Just, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the build is. It'll be a little lame if it's just all scythes, but you know what? That sounds really fun too. So, yeah. Anything else with this?
No.
All right. Last for melee, we have the Halberd build, which I think, I don't know, it could be popular, could not. If your melee attack range is at least 4, it is increased to 7. All halberds slower than 5 ticks have their attack rate set to 5 ticks. So this means the dragon and crystal halberd are now just 5 tick weapons instead of 7. And yeah.
I think this will be the most popular build in the league because people love the idea of doing like, Infernal with a Noxious Halberd.
Yeah, 7. Okay, would you be able to hit suck from that?
Yeah, you can.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like, it would open up the game a lot, I guess.
I think it's just this is just so unique. Like you don't really get this in the main game, and that's what people are looking for. So I think this will be a very popular, very very popular build, going for like a Nox Halley 7 tile attack range melee build. You'll be able to do some completely jank stuff and break the game. So that plus blind bag, I think, is going to be the most popular angle for people to go for or like aim towards when it comes to this skilling tree kind of, or PVM tree.
Yeah, I think 50% of people are just going to do blind bag because it looks hilarious and awesome. But maybe not. I thought people would all get the dog sword because it looked hilarious and awesome. Yeah, and it ended up being a total sleeper. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really shit, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, all right. What do you think of melee overall?
I think it's fun, dude. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think we have a ton of variety. I think the only one that's big sleeper is just the boring 2% spec attack per hit.
I think
it's fine.
It looks the most varied of the 3.
It's probably strong.
It's probably going to be super strong, and I imagine it's going to be the most popular.
Honestly, Thorns like really has me thinking like that would be so fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Thorns
There's
build.
like all 4 builds are very unique. So
Yeah.
I like that. Where the other ones, mage specifically, not so much. But we get into it.
All
Onto
right.
range, I guess.
Up next, we have ranged. Starting out with the throne. So there are 2 endpoints for thrown weapons. The first one is when attacking with a thrown weapon, you now throw at an additional nearby target. And yeah, that one just seems really straightforward. You hit 2 targets instead of 1. Seems like full damage. So you think?
Yeah, chins, right?
That would be big. How would that work? Would it double it?
I don't know, but it definitely is like a big part of this this branch, I would say.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. And then the other option is while a thrown weapon is equipped, increase your range accuracy by 60.
I assume you're just taking both, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the worst one. Not because it's not powerful, just it's boring. There's nothing here to talk about. You'll probably take the accuracy here if that's your build. Yeah, Throne seems pretty cool. There's probably a lot of these middle ones we're missing. So please forgive me, but we can't do all 140.
And when it comes to range, like each node has like kind of 2 at the end that you're probably going to want to take both for each. So like Throne has 2, Crossbow has 2, and short bows have 2, whereas melee just kind of have 1 at the end because there's 4 choices, but range there's only 3 choices.
Yeah. There's also like ranged echoes and stuff all in here, so come check it out for yourself. Play around. The wiki's got a interactive, skill tree you can mess with.
We can post the Gecko's League's planning sheet too. Is pretty good for like poking through and having a look.
Oh yeah,
we can post that in the chat below.
Okay.
If you guys are interested in like looking into your own builds and like seeing, it kind of like gets everything ready for you. And I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not much of a Leagues guy, but it's pretty straightforward to use.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, Heartless has been teasing us that this might be his favorite. We have the crossbow tree, and it has 2 final nodes. The first one is crossbow attacks roll accuracy twice, and crossbow hits always max hit. Holy shit. Yeah,
they're going to be... There's also one before that turns your crossbows from a 5 tick to 7 tick, which slows them down but gives them 70% extra damage. So you're basically going to be hitting like a truck, but extremely slowly. So it's going to be really good on high HP bosses. You're going to be able to 2-hit a lot of them because you're max hitting and getting basically maximum accuracy. You still need to be wearing like some range gear, like Missouri or Carol's, at least something decent, because you still roll accuracy, unlike previous leagues where everything has been 100% accurate. So that's something to think about, but the build will be hitting absolutely enormous numbers. And that's my plan. I'm just going to get that big crossbow and I'm just going to hit huge number go up.
This crossbow hits always max hit might be the most powerful node I've ever seen. That's crazy.
Plus the fact that you can slow down by 40% to increase damage by 70%. So I don't know, like let's say your max hit is like, who knows? Let's think about it. I don't know what it's going to be like with all these damages, but let's just say it's 100, then all of a sudden it goes to 170, and now you're just maxing 170 every single time you hit.
Jesus.
I don't know if that, I'm just pulling numbers out my ass, but
right.
It feels like a fun build to me. So that's why I'm going for it.
I see why you gravitate to that.
And the scaling is easy, right? Before you get the black crossbow, you could, from KBD, you can just use a rune crossbow and it would get the job done.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, for the range side are the bows. So hitting, there's 2 final nodes, of course. The first one is hitting with a bow increases your bow's max hit by 1, capping at 15% of your base maximum hit. And then the other node is the opposite. Hitting with a bow increases your bow's minimum hit by 1, capping at 15% of your base max. So you could take both of these and basically just dial in your minimum hit and raise up your max hit. So I think mathematically you're just doing a lot more DPS.
You can get them down to 2 tick as well, so the bows will be going quick. Pretty cool, man. These are like really good for sustain if you're going for like sustain builds.
Yeah, it says this bonus is halved when you take damage that you didn't or couldn't pray against. So chip damage or just making mistakes will lower your DPS here. I think that's an interesting mechanic. Punishing.
Probably not something that the casual player base will lean towards either. So
I don't think I'll be taking it.
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I want you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with you anymore. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Ranged overview. What do you think? Obviously, you're going with the crossbow route. Is that set in stone? You're pretty confident.
Yeah, 100% confident. I think it looks great fun.
Nice.
I like that there's a bit of options in range, less so than melee, but it still looks great. I mean, you can multi-spec too. You can go like crossbow thorns, crossbow blind bag. You could go short bow mage. There's a bunch of like, you do get like a bunch of points. So you definitely by the end when you're like respec, and you can respec. So I think there's a lot of flexibility in what you pick. You're not like locked in like you were in the last leagues.
Yeah, I'm really amazed. Like, you can do an entire range build. You could just get every single thing in the range tree. I don't know if I love that. Each tree is about 36 out of 40 points.
Yeah, but I think you'll probably want to multi-spec so that you can actually do like certain bosses you can't do with only one style.
Most bosses you can't just
Yeah. Well, let's jump into mage. Because we still gotta get through all of the all of the choices as well after this, the relics.
Yep. So mage, these ones are kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So they're broken up by the elemental runes. So we have air, water, fire, and earth. However, most players are never interacting with these or care. Usually doing the fire variant of every spell is the most powerful. But nonetheless, if you go down the air tree, air spells have a 1% chance to max hit for every one prayer bonus. This chance is doubled against enemies weak to air spells. So you could put on full Sunfire Curious. You could get the Echo Boots and
become Avatar Aang. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a weird relation. I actually like that. It's pretty unique. What do you think?
I really haven't looked too much into the mage, but
yeah,
it seems like a bit of a troll build, honestly.
I'm just wondering if the max prayer bonus, I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna say it's like 60. It's like pretty high. Yeah. So 60% max hit for an air spell.
It's just
air blast or whatever the final was it wave? Whatever the final tier is.
And there's like synergies with prayer, like they deal 7% extra damage for each active prayer. So there's like a bunch of prayer / air synergies. So you're going like full monk, I would say.
That's pretty cool. That sounds cool. I'm curious to see that. All right. And remember, guys, you can reset these 3 times. So if you get to the end, you hate your build, you might still have 1 or 2 resets.
Yeah. And for each one, you can go like smoke, shadow, ice, and blood all count as like the respective one.
Oh, yeah.
So like smoke counts for air, blood counts for fire, ice counts for water. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to ancients more than anything.
Yeah, okay. I like that. All right, up next we have water spells. Water spell hits bounce back to you, healing you for 60% of the damage you dealt to your target. That's crazy with Ice Barrage being a thing.
This is like one of probably the best mage one, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like constantly sustaining, constantly freezing things. It'll make PVM like a total joke. Seems really good.
That's awesome. I like this. Okay. Anything else on the water side?
No, nothing else stands out to me. But the water seems really strong. Like this would be a pretty fun one. And it's like another thing about mages is like pretty easy to get up and running, right?
Yeah, very true.
And there's like scaling to do with max HP and all sorts of things. So I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, this would be huge for Tob too. Oh, not really, but I don't know. Nyla Room and Maiden, maybe.
I think you can just brute force them in leagues. It's not a huge deal.
True. All right. We have fire. Fire spell hits apply 1 burn with a max of 5 and bounce up to 2 nearby targets. So you could have 5 burn on 3 targets at once, which would be pretty badass. The problem with burn is the tick rate is like so slow that sometimes they're dead by the time you get to the 3rd tick. But we'll see how that scales. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, probably not as nearly as good as the other one, as ice.
Yeah. Cool in theory. My favorite kind of mage is like a fire mage. In every game that has a mage thing with elements, I like the fire. But I don't know if I'll be doing this one, but I like the idea. And then last, we have earth spells deal additional flat damage based on your current defense level. So up to +1 damage per 12 defense levels. Okay. So that would mean you cap out at 8. Yeah, because you have the 0.25. So +8 damage, flat damage.
This one seems really weak, right? Compared to the other 3, and compared to like the things you can be doing like in melee and range specifically. Like range can be hitting 150 every hit, whereas this getting +8 flat damage seems like super weak. So I'm not sure about this one. I don't think I'd be specking Earth, that's for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. There's also there's a bunch of other nodes in here. One that kind of sticks out to me is healing with demonic pacts over heals you up to 30% of your base hit points level. So you could have 128 HP if you are healing through a demonic pact like the water rune. It's pretty cool. Anything else on here that I missed that you think's notable?
No, not really. I think Earth looks pretty bad. Unless you're going to be like running Olm, I guess, all the time because he's weak to Earth spells, but seems pretty mid to me. This seems like the weakest of all of the specs, but you know what? Maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, nothing else.
Earth spell hits reduce the enemy's defense and magic defense levels by 2. So you could have a guy in there. I don't think this will happen, but you could have an Earth spell guy.
Maybe you're like a support character.
Support? Oh, okay.
Oh, mercy. Oh, rest the whole team. Oh. Yeah, maybe.
You're Earth spell guy. I like
there's some potential there, but yeah, it seems pretty weak compared to the other ones. It doesn't jump off the page as being like, oh my god, I'm hitting with 5 scythes, or I'm getting multiple specs on my god swords.
Yeah. All right, that is Demonic Pacts. I'm super excited to see what the builds are and like what they are at the top. Usually like 3 will dominate. I don't know what those 3 will be. Maybe it is the crossbows.
Ice crossbow, Hallie is my
guess.
Ice. Yeah. But
I think blind bag will be one.
Yeah, blind bag / Hallie I think will go together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems good.
Very cool. Okay, let's get into relics. We have a lot here, so I'm not going to read through all the bullet points. I've summarized them briefly. Some of them are new, so some are longer than others. And we did go over these with Double Shine, so make sure
I think you refer to that one for the first choice, to be honest, but we can just like briefly touch on them.
Yeah. Endless Harvest, Barbarian Gathering, and Abundance. Endless Harvest, basically, things go to your bank, they're doubled, and nodes don't deplete. Barb Gathering gives you crystal tools without having to use any. So they're just like, and then you also get strength and agility when you are skilling, gathering. And then lastly, Abundance. I think this one will actually see a lot of use. It boosts all non-combat skills by 10 permanently. Every time you receive an XP drop, you gain 2 XP in the same skill, which will scale. Which one of these you plan on picking, Heartless?
Dude, come on. I have 3 wives, 14 kids,
Yep.
6 girlfriends and 8 jobs. It's an endless harvest all day. All day.
Yeah. It just seems too strong.
It's
I'm
just
tempted by Abundance.
You're tempted by it, but then all of us, when you can't Leagues for me is all about the 30-minute AFK timer. I want to maximize the 30-minute AFK timer at all times to get the free tasks done, because I'll be working the entire time, not taking any time off. So this one is jumping out to people like me, and I imagine it's going to be the overwhelming choice for players. You cannot go wrong by picking that first.
It's too good.
Dude, and it's not just fishing anymore. Like, it's all the nodes. It's mining, it's wood cutting. It's so much more powerful than the last couple they've had. The fishing versus hunter one. So yeah, this one's nasty. 100% I'm taking this. What about you? You abundance guy?
I'm definitely taking it. No.
Yeah, you're not an infernal tools kind of guy? Anti-meta?
I'm more of an AFKer than I am anything else. So it would just be cool to have Endless Harvest. But I am tempted by Abundance. Barbarian Gathering does not have my interest at all. I think for someone like a cold one, I'll probably do Barb Gathering, maybe Abundance.
But even then, like, how can you, even if you get, like, you can take more things or get them faster, like, everyone's got to sleep. Like, you just AFK'd 30 minutes before and it's worth, you know what I mean? Everyone's got to go have lunch or dinner, even if you're, like, a sweaty nerd playing 17 hours a day, you know? You got to go eat your lasagna at some point, like, you know,
even
that's 90 minutes of lasagna eating. You got to get it done.
The real problem with Endless Harvest is it's only 3 skills. But later on, you can tie it to, like, cooking, you can tie it to fire making, so it can turn to, like, 5 or more. But what happens when those 3 skills are, like, 99 or 25 mil or even 50 mil? There's only so many points. But I don't know.
But without it, you would have to train them manually. No, thank you. So for me, one thing, solving 3 skills for you is like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But again, this is like the obvious casual choice. So definitely, if you're out there with struggling to pick one, I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Yeah. All right. Tier 2, we have 3 options: Hotfoot, Friendly Forager, and Woodsman. So, Hotfoot, this is kind of a twist on the previous ones. It gives you Searing Boots, which give agility XP when running. Fish are auto-cooked, and ore is auto-smelted. It's pretty big. Picking up Marks of Grace or Termites gives 10k coins, and coins are actually kind of hard to get early on in leagues. We don't have Golden God early. So, and then there's also increased Mark spawn rate, and you get bonus XP from agility laps, and you cannot burn any food or fail agility obstacles. So Hotfoot used to just be agility, and they're really branching it out so that it's also cooking, it's also smithing, I guess, and then you're still getting the gold and stuff. What do you think of this one, Heartless?
This one's nasty. Again, it pairs so well with if you're taking the harvest one before. I think like almost certainly going to take this. I'm telling you what, even if it just fixes agility for leagues, I don't want to train agility in leagues at all.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any laps. I don't want to get any of that. So the passive is worth it just by itself. So this one for me, like the other two are actually not bad, especially the third one, which we can talk about in a second. But yeah, this is probably my choice. What do you think, Hoyt? Where do you stand on this guy?
I definitely plan on choosing this. I'll do a little more research, but right now I plan on going with it. It seems too busted. Especially if you're getting the smithing XP. It says mined ore is automatically smelted, so I assume you are. We will see. Maybe not.
You're definitely getting the XP, 100%.
Okay, yeah. Then definitely.
It's like now all of a sudden you take these two and you've got like, you know, six or 7 skills completely just freed up for you. No, don't even have to think about them.
The thing is, I would rather train agility than herblore. And this next one,
yeah, but there's another one that'll fix herblore for you later, so you don't have to worry about that. True. Yeah. Even, and trust me, I love Friendly Forger. I always take it, but there's the Demon Butler later will help you out.
There's also, we'll get to it, but there is a relic called Reloaded, which means you can select another relic of your choice. So you could do Reloaded and do Hotfoot and Friendly Forger. I'm not saying that's a good choice. I'm just saying For all these options, you can pick 2 out of 3 for one of them.
I feel like Friendly Forager is best early, so probably wouldn't want to do that. But this third one's quite strong, so.
Yeah. Friendly Forager, you get Forager's Pouch. You get random grimy herbs when you're gathering. Let's see here. All items are processed at once. That's big. They snuck that in here. So I forget what that was formerly called, but that's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you do one thing, your entire inventory is done. Is that correct? Yeah. Oh, it's just Herblore.
It's just for Herblore. It's just for Herblore,
Okay.
or else this would be like maybe the strongest of the 3.
That relic does exist, but it is not this one. So, the big thing here is you get herbs for doing other things, so that you don't actually have to interact with farming and picking plants, because herbs are actually hard to find and you do still use some potions. Maybe we'll get into it, but not super strong choice. And then lastly, we have Woodsman. Hunter traps go straight to your bank. Logs will be auto-burned. So this would tie in great with Endless Harvest. All items are processed at once when fletching. Stackables are capped at 10 times the regular amount for the processing. So if you're doing like darts and stuff, it won't do 1,000,000 in one tick. 100% success on all hunter actions. This is big for like getting Chens and getting 99 hunter. Double hunter loot and XP. Hunter also, I think this is slept on, it will give random herb or tree seeds. And it's hard to do farming when you don't have the seeds you want. And getting seeds sucks.
It won't be so bad though if you take Endless Harvest, because it's 30 minutes of AFK bird's nests.
Yeah. True. Yeah, you get the bird's nest seeds. I didn't think of that. And then jarred implings will give noted and doubled loot, and they won't break upon opening. So you can just stand there with, one jar and keep opening it. That's pretty cool. And you get an unlimited Quetzal whistle. So I kind of did 2 in 1 there, but what do you think about these other 2 options, Friendly Forager, Woodsman?
I like Woodsman. I think it's like pretty strong. I think Forager's you'd be kind of trolling to pick it considering the options that come later. But I think for me, like a Hotfoot, it's too good. Like getting the Greaves, getting agility out of the way, not having to think about it. Along with the bonuses that come with the smithing and the cooking, I think it's a freebie.
Yeah. I would say Woodsman's tempting, but I don't think I'll pick it. Like Hotfoot's too good. So interesting to see. For some reason, the meta choice always is like the Hunter one, because Hunter sucks to train versus the other ones. Because you can't AFK Hunter. There's one slightly AFK method, but they just don't exist. But that was kind of before rumors came out. So now that rumors are out, Hunter's a lot better place. So I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about in this tier?
No, I think this is good.
All right, tier 3. We have 3 options. This is basically the teleport tier. So we have Bank Heist, which is returning. You get the banker's briefcase. You can teleport to any bank chest, or deposit box. Pretty major, but was not the best choice previous leagues. Up next, we have a brand new one called Evil Eye. Teleport to the entrance of any boss or raid. Barrows will let you go to the chest or surface, and you can also teleport to each Moon of Peril. And then lastly, we have Map of Alacrity. Teleports you to agility shortcuts, and there's quite a lot of them in the game.
Which one of these stands out to you, Hoyt? What are you thinking of taking?
I mean, I think the obvious, everyone's gonna pick Evil Eye. I think. Map of Alacrity, I kind of want to see like what the guys in the lab are. There's a teleportation map. I'm showing the YouTubers, but for some zones is great. For some, like Kourend looks terrible. It looks like a terrible choice.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's interesting. I'll put it in Discord real quick.
Feels like a no-brainer Evil Eye to me, like on this one, because the Banker's Heist, you basically took it in the last league. You would get it. I think you got it. Basically, you teleport to like Shiloh Village, and you get free bank right there and everything you needed. It was great. But this one, dude, why would you not take Evil Eye? Because you're going to get some free bank teleports anyways, because a bunch of raids have them. Pretty sure Huey Codal has one in like the starting area. There's a bank right next to it. Moons of Peril has a bank next to it too, near the main entrance. So I think not taking Evil Eye would feel pretty troll in this. It feels like this league's FOMO pick. If you don't take this one or Endless Harvest, I think you'll be... a lot of other things, like, you can, like, you pick Hotfoot or you pick Woodsman, like, not that big of a deal. But I think if you miss out on Endless Harvest and you miss out on Evil Eye, I think you'll be feeling the FOMO. Whereas when we come to the next few tiers, nothing stands out to me as, like, being way better than the other one. So I think this one is, like, a no-brainer for most people.
Yeah. In the previous league, the best choice was a teleport that could send you to any stash unit, because there's one in the Shiloh Village Bank.
Right, that's what it
banked
was.
There.
Yeah.
It was great. I chose it. I loved it. I'm looking at this agility map. It looks shit.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. It's a cute idea, right? But it's like Fairy's Flight versus whatever it was those leagues ago. Evil Eye is like, everyone's going to want a PVM. You can't go wrong with this one.
Yeah. All right. I think we can move on then. I think they're trying something novel here. I applaud them, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's like a lot of things we're not considering, but I think it's just going to be Evil Eye. So, all right. You ready for tier 4?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Big one. We have the first one, Transmutation, which is kind of Golden God in disguise, but also just a totally new mechanic. So, alchemy spells, your low and high alch, now transmute items and bank the noted products. So, you get 2 new spells. You can either upgrade or downgrade 10 of a resource into a higher or lower tier. So if you have an adamant ore, you could cast the downgrade, it'll turn into mithril ore. And if you have the same adamant ore, you could also upgrade it to runite ore. You also get something called the Ledger, which can be equipped for unlimited nature runes, and you can recast over time on noted items for magic XP. So you can't alch things for like autocast, but you can autocast this new transmutation thing. So it's your new way to, you're going to get agility XP with your boots if you choose that, and then you can also run and get passive magic XP by transmuting things. And you can also make money by, upgrading resources to the next best thing. So I think this is a really cool concept. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a sick relic. This tier I think is a little bit of a harder choice, but this is one I would consider. Is it something you're interested in taking or no?
I will probably take the clue one because I love clues, but I think this will be the most popular one because it's got the cool factor, and I don't know. The problem is you're not going to struggle to level magic, and I don't know if you'll. I don't know. I need to like think of some specific use cases where like I really need runite ore. Yeah, I have adamant.
Yeah, I think I'll probably end up not taking this one. To be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Up next we have Conniving Clues. Every league we get the clue relics, but they're always switching them up a little. So this time it'll give you the chance to receive clue contracts, which are teleport scrolls to go to your current clue step. Otherwise, it just buffs clues in the usual way, like minimum steps, max reward, and most notably, there are no item requirements for emote or fallow steps, which is 1, a huge quality of life, and 2, I mean, so big to not have to collect the fallow items because, first off, you won't be able to get all of them. Second, I don't know if fallow won't ask you for things you haven't unlocked. I'm not sure about that. I would assume he will still. I don't know. But there's always a master task to complete for like 100 masters or 75. or 50. So having this could be powerful. I don't think it's like the best choice. I'm personally probably going to do it because I just have a lot of fun doing clues and leagues. That's what it's all about. What do you think of this one, Heartless?
Yeah, I think if you're going for that, like, if you're going for completion, you're probably going to want this, right, to get all those clue steps done for the 750 clogs.
Yep. Yeah. In the past, you were able to automatically teleport unlimited times to each clue step, and I think that was a little too busted for Jagex, so now they have this weird, like, we'll only give you 2 teleport scrolls. Like, okay, fine. So I guess we are going to have to run to some of them. I had a lot of fun just teleporting everywhere, but, you know, it is what it is. People also abuse this because what you would do is you would get the Barrage step and a clue, and then you could just not complete the step and keep teleporting to Barrage. So it's like this weird meta of like farming for a specific step in order to do this other grind. I thought that was cool though. That's like emergent gameplay. So, all right.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna pick this one. You're a clue guy.
Yeah, unpredictable. Yeah,
and I'm predictable
and
too.
then
I'm picking the next one.
This one is huge.
This is gonna be the most popular one in the league by far. I think that 90% of people will take this one.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, Butler's Bell, brand new concept here. Demonic Butler will be summoned to work for you. This will continue offline. So they'll do gathering for you.
That's fucking wild.
And you have Kingdom of Miscellanea.
It's like Kingdom, yeah.
On crack, yeah. So it'll do gathering for you, and the rates are actually pretty good. It's like 8 ores per minute, or 10 logs per minute, 14 fish per minute. I'll have to do some quick math here for what you would get overnight. But that's huge. Also, the butler can process these gathered items for you at half the rates. So you can collect 8 ores, but then he'll only smelt 4 ores per minute, though. Yeah, I mean, I think this is amazing.
Dude,
when the Demon Butler processes,
this is disgusting.
he'll share 10 XP before league multipliers with you and the production skill per resource. So you are getting XP for all this and the resource.
Yeah, it's outrageous. It's passive XP and a bunch of different skills. It's free herb lore, completely done for you. Or you never have to worry about potions again. It's free fletching. It's free construction because he can turn logs into planks for you after getting the logs while you're at work. If you're, going away on trips, if you got a lot of time with the family plan, this is an outrageous one that you just have to pick this relic, in my opinion.
Yeah. So overnight, if you were sleeping for 8 hours and you're a healthy boy, getting your proper sleep, you would get 4,000 ores if you chose to do the ores. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so you just do it on ores one day, planks the next day, turn them into planks. So like within a week, you could have everything you need. I want to do some PVM. I'm going to stick it on herbs and then get him to turn them into potions. And then you can, just make pots for like half an hour and then you're ready to go for all your PVM needs. Insane relic.
That is insane. Yeah, I think I might be forced to pick this. We'll see. I haven't made my mind up. But clues just aren't as... You can't really stand up to this. It's pretty tough. So, all right. Anything else with this tier you want to talk about?
Don't think so.
All right. We have 4 more tiers, and then we're wrapping up. So, we have tier 5, Nature's Accord. So, you will get the Fairy Mushroom to teleport to Fairy Rings. So, you get another teleport option here, which is awesome. Farming patches have no level requirements. You get 10 times the yield, plants don't die, and you get a 20% chance to save a seed or sapling. I think this is big because of the additional teleport as well. It makes it like pretty... It depends on the use case and if you have the right areas for this to matter. But besides that, no level requirements for farming is really good for those seeds because early farming sucks. So if you just instantly plant a magic tree, like that's massive. What do you think of this one?
I think it's good. If you're taking Demon Butler or Butler's Bell before, it's kind of less relevant because you're going to get a bunch of free stuff overnight for you. Especially when you compare to, we're going to compare to the next two. This one seems, I think, it'd probably be the least popular.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's interesting if you want to, farming max, like Poplo.
Yeah, farming sucks in leagues. It's always hard to do. So they try to have these relics where either you get this relic and farming is a joke, or you don't get this relic and you're thinking about farming like all the time because it's the one skill that's hard to like cheat code without trivializing it too much. So I'm interested to see. But these next two ones sound sweet. Next we have Larcenist. So this is returning. It always is. I think it's usually called dodgy deals or something. But 100% success rate on thieving, auto pickpocket, and steal from stalls, noted items when you're stealing from the stalls or pickpockets. Stalls never deplete, and guards do not care about you. So not only that, but your coin pouch limit is increased by 10x. So it's not completely AFK, but you get many minutes where you can look away, hopefully.
I think it's like 5 minutes, loot, 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah. And then loot is increased 10 times, including clue scrolls. So you could thieve for clue scrolls from like gnomes and get 10 mediums at once from this. So pretty juicy. I've always liked the auto pickpocketing. It's one of my favorites. What do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. Is either this or that we'll talk about Soul Harvest in a second, but I think this will be a popular one for sure. I mean, you can't really go wrong with, big thieving, especially good in Taranwin, right? If you're getting access to, or if you're going for blood shards or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty good. I can't really complain about this one. You definitely won't feel bad about getting it, that's for sure.
Yeah. My only problem with this one is always that it's only ever one skill. But this time, the clue scrolls help, but you're usually not trying to get clue scrolls. You have way too many in the bank. So, last but not least, the most interesting of the bunch, brand new, we have Soul Harvest. All dropped bones and ashes will be turned into something new called Soul Shards. Harvesting a farming crop will also give them. The shards can be used as pure essence or sacrificed at the libation bowl for massive prayer XP. So it's kind of wild.
This one seems great, right? Because it does prayer. Prayer in previous leagues you've been able to do with gold, which you could get from Golden God. Yep. But that's not a thing anymore. So I think prayer would be a little trickier. And I think this solves prayer for you, and it also helps with rune crafting. I mean, if you're planning on doing like a bunch of tasks, I think this one's going to be really strong. I don't think you can go wrong with Larcenist, but I think these two are a lot better than Nature's Accord. I personally would go for this one, because then I don't really have to worry about prayer or... It's basically, this one to me is, are you going to have to tank the league's experience on prayer and rune crafting and do it manually, or are you going to have to tank thieving and do it manually? That's kind of what I'm thinking about this. What about you?
Yeah, the other thing with Soul Harvest is when you're harvesting the farming crop, you have to choose. So either you can get the usual loot from the farming crop, or you can get these new soul shards. So you will want a farming relic to go with this. Prayer, you're right. I didn't think about Golden God missing with the prayer part. I was just thinking about the raw GP and the magic XP. So prayer is not going to be fun to do without this. Pure Essence is kind of weird to me, but I guess just because Miscellane's gone, it makes a lot of sense. So how are you going to train runecraft without this? I didn't really think about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of does that for you, right? So
yeah,
I think this is probably the take for me. Larcenist, maybe if you could AFK for like the entire 30 minutes, it'd be worth it to get like the 200 mils and stuff. But again, you could just do that with Endless Harvest. So I would say
So
between
you
those two,
could-
you can't go wrong. But I'm gonna go Soul Harvest because I want to like eventually PVM and get like a decently rounded account, and this kind of helps me get my prayer solved and get a little bit of rune crafting in case I want to get some tasks done.
You might want to reload and get Soul Harvest and Nature's Accord. That could be cool.
Yeah, but if you have
Strat.
Demon Butler, I don't see why you need Nature's Accord.
The Demon Butler with the farming herbs, I am curious to see what...
It says on the wiki that he has a drop table, basically, and he'll be able to pull
Okay.
herbs from them. So it's like a 1 in 15 to get a
It doesn't
Ranar.
matter if you planted them or anything.
No, it doesn't. It's non-planted. He just collects.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
I thought about
Yeah,
that
that
too, and I was like,
sounds
well, it's going to be bad
big.
if I have to just... I may as well just do the farming myself. But no, he has like a drop table that he loots from, basically.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. Shall we go on to tier 6?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. 3 options, of course. We have Grimory, swap between spell books. You get a Book of the Dead.
What did you just call this?
Grimory.
Grimoire.
Well,
Hoyt.
If you watch the Wicked movie, it's Grimory.
Grimory? Is that really how they pronounce it?
That's how they pronounce it.
Oh, you hate to see it.
But yeah,
Why are you
for us RuneScape
watching
players.
the Wicked movie? Come on, Hoyt.
You know how women are.
Oh no.
But
Oh no.
It's actually...
Did you go? Did you? It's actually a good movie. I'm not a big musicals guy, but I did hear good.
No, it's good.
I mean,
Yeah,
all the children in my
it's-
class were like, "I went to watch Wicked twice this weekend because it's so dang good." I'm like, "Oh, okay, guys. I'm glad you liked it."
I watched both of them. They were very serviceable and fine. Would I like tell you you got to go watch it? No, for sure.
That's fair.
No.
That's fair, dude. When I was 18, I worked at an old fashioned movie theater. It was like 1920s style in this town that I lived in.
Ah, did you have to dress up?
No, we dressed nice though, but
Okay, yeah.
you know, we wore like pants and shirts, but nothing
And a
special.
bowler hat.
But it was like no bowler hats. You know, we weren't out there looking like that. But we did. We had to deal with just one theater. But on the weekends, which was basically when I would always get my big shifts, right? Because I was at school the other nights, it would be kids' movies all morning. And dude, because we were a small theater, we would get like the B rolls of films. Kind of how it works in the movies, or at least how it used to when I worked there.
Mm-hmm.
Is the big like Cineplex and stuff like that. They get the A selection. So when a movie first comes out, it's in like the A roll. So, you know, only the big theaters with the contracts could get the movies to start, and that's why all the new ones go there. And then after a while, once they've been out, they go on to this like secondary market essentially. So the smaller theaters like drive-ins, you know, sometimes there's an IMAX where I live in town. Things like that would get movies. That's why they'll be like a year later still playing, you know, Dune or whatever. I think it probably still works something like that, and it's to do with the contracts. So you get them cheaper if you're in like the B-roll section for films, and you have to pay a lot more. I think just Cineplex does, and maybe a few other theaters. But anyways, the point being, we had Megamind for literally 2 years, bro, and every weekend it was full. Every single weekend, full of kids. Megamind, good movie. Like I get it, respect to Megamind, but oh my god, and it would be like the same kids coming back every weekend to watch Megamind at the theater.
Oh my god, the blue guy. I had to look it up.
Yeah. I think it's Jim Carrey.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, he's a funny dude, but my god, dude, I'm telling you, it was absolutely packed every weekend for 2 years.
Cringe.
And then we finally were like, okay, we got to get rid of Megamind and get into some new content. It was one of the top sellers. It was wild. I don't know where that came from. We were talking about film, but let's get back into this leagues before we hit the 3 hour mark.
Yeah. All right. So, we all know what Grimoire is. Unlock all prayers and spells is the big one, so you can automatically get augury and rigor, regardless of having to unlock Kourend. Up next, we have a brand new one: Eternal Sustenance. Food is no longer consumed when eaten. Heartless. The shark's back.
The corrupted shark. What do you think of this, Hoyt? How is this looking for you?
I'm cool with it.
Do you think this is something that maybe like the ultra casual? I mean, I'm saying I'm a casual in League, but I know how to do all the bosses in the game. So with power ups, I'm like less afraid of only having one inventory. Do you think this is something that's really attractive to someone who's like never done the Inferno or never done Tob? They really want access to this like endless amount of food so they could get through stuff and learn it.
Yeah, I mean, the other problem is the Karambwam tech isn't going to work because I don't see any Banker's Note.
Yeah, but if it's
There's no
infinite,
Banker's Note.
if it's infinite, if you're
No, I'm thinking about if you don't pick this.
If you don't pick
like,
this, then yeah, you only have the food you have. But there's a bunch of relics, not relics. I'm sorry. What are we calling them? Those like point system, the Path of Exile, monstrosity tree, the monstrosity
the demonic packs.
Okay, so
combat tree.
Your combat tree power ups. There's a bunch of them that will give you sustain. So I feel like if you're not taking sustain, a sustain build or a tanky build, and you're less comfortable with PVM, then this is going to be a really attractive option for you.
This might be a noob trap, now that I think of it.
I don't necessarily think so. I mean, if your like main goal is to like try all the different content in your regions, then I think this is going to give you the confidence to do it. Then I think it's a really good relic to take. But I think if you're a more experienced gamer, or you're going with a build like the short bows that give you mad sustain, I don't think you necessarily need it. But I don't think you can go wrong with it for sure. Especially since the other two are not. If you don't have Culling Spree and Grimoire, it's not the end of the world. Especially have Kourend, right? Grimoire is basically not that important.
Right. Yeah. I'm interested to see. Like, I'm just looking at the next one. We'll talk about Culling Spree. Choose a Slayer task from a list of 3 choices instead of just being given 1. One of them will be a boss task out of the 3, if it's possible. Kill count for tasks is selectable, so you can choose anywhere from 5 to 200 of each thing. So if you don't like it, just if all 3 suck, pick 1 and do 5. And then the big one here, superiors have a 50% chance of respawning upon death and drop elite clues. So you get like a back 5 back superior.
Yeah, this is just going to give you like mad Slayer XP, right? No problem.
Yeah, Imbued Heart
guaranteed, gem guaranteed. Yep. It's going to be a bunch of like free tasks for you.
And the XP of that will be
it'll be nuts.
Superiors give massive XP.
I don't like if you don't have Culling Spree, the Slayer one, I don't think you're going to be sad. But I do think it's definitely powerful.
You don't have to wear your Slayer helm. So you don't have to unlock a Slayer helm. You don't have to unlock Morytania to have a Slayer helm. So that could be cool. And then you can also purchase like Rune Pouch, Herb Sack, and Looting Bag. Really just Rune Pouch would be nice. If you have to bring food, freeing up, 3 or more inventory spaces would be sick. What do you think you're going to take here, Heartless?
This is the first one where I have like thoughts. I think because I'm ranged, and I think everyone who is going range, Grimoire gives you Rigor, which is like the single most important upgrade you can have. So I think if you're not taking Kourend, you have to take Grimoire if you're a ranger. But if I do end up going with Kourend, then I'll probably take Culling Spree. But again, like there'll be people. Another thing about this leagues is because I'm going to be working and stuff and kind of paying attention to what some people are doing, you'll get an idea of the later relics, like which ones are worth taking by just watching streamers and stuff. But I think you can't really go wrong with Culling Spree or Eternal Sustenance, though I imagine I'll go with Culling Spree, just because it'll make Slayer go a bit faster.
Yeah, I might pick Culling Spree here, because later on I'm going to pick something else that makes Eternal Sustenance less good. I don't know. I am like a noob, so doing Inferno with unlimited food would be like a huge pressure relief.
But you're also there's builds where you can be like 188 health with like infinite sustain, so it's not really going to be relevant. I think this is more relevant. This will be based on your build, which one you go for.
And in the past, I have not taken Culling Spree, or what it used to be called, and I regretted it because training Slayer is just not very fun in leagues. When there's more fun things to do than kill Necreals. So, I might choose Culling Spree here. So we'll see. Grimoire is great if you're min-maxing, you want to do big damn with your friends. But if you're like a solo player, if you're a giga powerful, Rigor's good, but I don't know. It's hard for me to say. It's like, I don't know, the quality of life of the other ones might outweigh being more powerful when you're already busted. Like, I was killing Vardorvis and like 4 ticks. So like, what Does it turn into 5 ticks without Grimoire? Yeah, I don't know. But all right. Anything else on that tier?
I don't think so. I think it's a fun tier to choose from.
I agree. Tier 7, we got 2 left. There are 2 options here. We have the first one, Flow State, which, dude, I freaking love this relic. I don't think I'm gonna pick it.
You should read the second one first because it's like way easier to explain. It takes like 10 seconds.
The second one is called Reloaded. Choose another relic from any tier below this one. So all the way up to the ones we've mentioned. You can now just choose another one out of the 3. And then the first option is called Flow State. The following will all occur at a 2-tick rate instead of whatever they were. So mining, woodcutting, fishing, cooking, fire making, offering bones for prayer, doing fletching, smelting, crafting, farming, magic, and minigame interactions are included.
Oh, so really shit, it's a Hoyt relic. Minigames. Yes.
But imagine stacking this with the the AFK Endless Harvest. Yeah, dude, you're just going to get 200 mil woodcutting overnight?
Yeah, this seems like a pretty gross one.
Cracked.
I imagine unless you're doing something super specific, everyone will just take Flow State.
Yeah. Reloaded's tempting though, but...
It is, but you got to like really know what you're doing or look into something specific for that, right?
Yeah. Very interesting. I don't know. I think you'll see a lot of people take Reloaded here.
Yeah, if you want to go like Reloaded for Culling Spring Grimoire or Eternal Sustenance, if you don't care about this and you want to do PVM, then yeah, there's
or like
definitely...
Nature's Accord, because it's not worth taking on its own, but that versus faster skilling maybe.
Yeah, there's probably things that you can go back for, but I think Flow State's pretty nasty, especially if you're going for a lot of points. I think you'll want this guaranteed.
Yeah. All right. And then the final mega tier. We have a lot here. Heartless, you want to take us through the final 3? Or
yeah, sure. So we've got the Sage's Axe. It comes from the Executioner relic. So basically, the Sage's Axe will be automatic. Is it automatic? I think so.
This is brand new, by the way. Like, this wasn't.
We've had something like it. We've had something like it in the past. But if you ever played League of Legends,
I just mean revealed.
It's like the Elder Dragon buff. When someone goes below 20% health, it automatically executes them. So it has a max range of 6 tiles, and it respects any like reduction or immunities the target has. It won't work against Yama, and throwing the axe doesn't consume it, but the primary hit doesn't trigger regeneration effects after demonic packs. So basically it's an execution axe. I think you have to equip it and throw it, but I don't know if it's going to be infinite or like automatic or not. Anything to add on this one, Hoyt, that I missed?
No, this one is sweet. Like, I remember it was a few leagues ago when this was out, but I remember watching Bodhi using it on like Olm hands and just deleting them.
Yeah, it looks fun, man.
20% hit points is so cool.
It's a big damage increase.
It's one of those things where you want one person in the group for raids to have it, but not everyone, because then it's like only one of you can do it, So, it's interesting.
Then we got Minion, which is basically an Ultra Thrall. You can equip it with up to 5 Zami items. To increase its power, it lasts for 30 minutes and it has an insane accuracy. And high hack. It's basically a max hit of 10 Thrall. So it's going to be like 1.5 to 2 DPS. It's really strong. Like, you can't go wrong with taking it. It's going to nuke pretty hard.
It'll be a max hit of 20. Yeah.
20, true. I guess it'll double. It's very powerful, but a bit boring. I think we talked about this one with Double Shine.
It'll auto loot items, which I thought was interesting. But this is the sleeper. It's kind of middle of the road. It's kind of powerful.
It's powerful, but it's kind of
boring.
Very
boring.
Then we got another interesting one. Is the Flask of Fervor. So it grants you this flask. When you click it, it restores your hit points and your prayer, and your special attack energy will be fully restored. And over the next 2 2.5 seconds. It will trigger 3 explosions, which deal 60% of your base prayer level. So if you're 99, it's going to deal 66 damage to all enemies within 3 tiles of you, and it's typeless, which is nuts. So it's like a nuke. Reduces all damage you take to 0, so it gives you like a P-neck, and it won't deal damage to Yama, of course, as everything else does. And works in the gauntlet, and it has a 3-minute cooldown. But this is the best part of this, is for every 10 damage you deal in a single hit, it reduces the cooldown by 0.6 seconds. So if you deal 100 damage with a hit, it will reduce it by 6 seconds. So you can get this up a lot quicker. Seems nuts. This seems really good. If you are not taking the Eternal Food, you might want to consider this. It's also just damage because of the explosions dealing 60% of your prayer level. This seems like an outrageous one. I think I'm going to go for the Flask personally. It sticks out to me as like the most flexible and the most, I wouldn't say powerful necessarily, but it certainly has a lot more use cases than the other two. The Executioner and the Minion just feel a little bit boring to me, but this one feels like it has a little bit of gameplay to it. So, what do you think, Hoyt?
Yeah, this is a no-brainer for me, taking the Flask, because of the quality of life of not dying in a raid and just staying alive with the boys or doing content that's, out of my usual comfort zone or abilities. It's just literally just a safety net with you at all times, and also does a little bit of damage when you trigger it, which is cool. Minion could be, I'd be interested to see like the DPS calcs. It could be a great choice versus Executioner. I think the Sweats will pick Executioner maybe because it's high APM, high reward. Minion, also if you're going for like, if you're one of the few people who are on for like 50 mil everything, doing this for Slayer for the AoE for barraging could be cool, but nah, I'm taking Flask here, man. It looks amazing. So,
yeah, if you're like gonna do like if you're planning to do like a ton of core, it also depends on your goals, right? Like you might want to switch things up. So if you want to go for a specific pet or
the Thorns build,
things like that.
The Ellie.
Yeah, if you want to go for that, then you're gonna have to kill a shit ton of corp, which means you're probably gonna want the Executioner or maybe even the Minion to help you deal a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Versus if you want to raid a lot, then maybe the Flask would be better. I think the Flask will also be best for casuals for sure.
Yes, just learning content. It's just comfort.
It's like a nice safety blanket for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much covers it. Right. Anything else you want to touch on? I mean, this has been a long episode.
That was massive, and bear with us. I'm sure we got a few things wrong. There's so many words and charts and pictures. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. I'm really excited to share like our experiences once we actually start. You never know like what it'll actually look like when you're in the pre-phase, the planning phase.
And so, you can go and check out like Double Shine or Skritic or Foe. They all do like a bunch of them do videos on YouTube to like come up with builds. So if you're like, I don't really know what to do, I think the relics are a little bit more straightforward if you're just going to be coming at it from like a casual perspective. But if you're not sure where to go with the build path, then just check out some of their vids and see what the ideas are for builds and areas, and then just kind of send it.
Yeah, and the League's Discord has so much. It's like overwhelming how many builds and like threads they have. So I knew in the last leagues I had 2 of my regions I really wanted. I didn't know what I should do for the third. So I was able to kind of sort in the Discord by the 2 regions I wanted and then see what were the most active and like the other options out there for the third region for me. So check out them as well.
Awesome.
All right. I'm all good. Anything else you have?
No, I think that's going to wrap it up. No chest room today because we had a big episode, but we got in there with the Megamind story, so you can enjoy that as your mini chest room.
Yeah. I've got a quiz for you and Poplo, a pop quiz. So
pop quiz.
Interested to see how you guys do on that. So
all
right.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Dude, pop quizzes, you can't get away with them in school anymore. You just can't do it.
Oh, you can. They're too soft these days.
Too soft these days. Well, you know what? I do have a tiny chest room for you. A tiny one. Did I tell you what I do with their desks, like when they clean them?
No.
Okay, so this only really works because I know them all like quite well, and I'm usually like we have a lot of laughs in the class. So they go to music on Fridays. When they get back from music, we always do a desk clean because some of them just have the dirtiest desks, and I always give them an inspection, just to make sure they're clean and stuff. But one day, I upped the game and I said, okay, if you fail the inspection, and you get your desk dumped. And they're like, oh, they start to freak out. You know how they'd be like 9 and 10. So, you know, a couple kids, I know the ones that can, some of them would cry if I dumped their desks, so I would never do it. But some of them can handle it. So, you know, a few of them get dumped. And then I start to ramp it up more and more. Like I go into our emergency bag and bring out the flashlight and start doing inspections with the flashlight to like get all the specks of dirt. So I slowly ramped it up. And then one day I decided it would just be fun. So everyone who had a dirty desk, I just completely turned upside down, including mine, which is totally filthy all the time, and they always make fun of me for it. So they walked in, and like there was 2 or 3 of them standing. Everyone else's desks were turned upside down with the stuff on the ground. So it was pretty good. I know, vicious.
So you just dump their stuff all over the ground?
Yeah, I'm like gentle about it. I like take out their pencil box and put it on the ground. I don't just like dump it everywhere. I'm not like ruthless.
And when they go to pick it up, you like kick it across the room.
I kick it and I throw them out the window. It's all just a bit of fun, but yeah, some of them definitely can't handle it. You like, there's a few kids, like 2 or 3, that just, if you dump their desk, they would just cry. So I avoid them. But you get to know them well enough, right? But a lot of them are like actively looking for it because they're like, oh, it's so cool. I got my desk dumped. But yeah, there you go.
I have a teacher prank. I was telling my best friend's a teacher, and I shared it with him. I just saw a reel or something. The teacher was screen sharing, and she like minimized the window, and it pulled open this like Google Drive, and there's like 3 files. It was like my favorite is like a Google Sheets when the title was like my favorite students.
Oh my god!
Like which students are dating. It's like the second one, and then the third one was like my least favorite students.
Oh my
or something.
god!
And she just left it on the screen and like didn't say anything.
Were these kids older?
Kept teaching.
Yeah.
They were I don't know, probably like 6th grade or 4th grade or something, and anyways, the kids are just like reading it and like looking at each other like, does she know? But they must have been younger for it to work, but eventually
when they're younger though, they don't really look at the screen too often, so it's not a huge deal.
It's like, Miss Smith, you're showing something. I think you want to hide it.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
They're like, sure. We want to see. Open it.
The very first thing I ever learned on my first teaching thing was whenever you use the computer, always freeze the screen when you search. Never ever. Just in case something weird comes up. You know what I mean? You gotta keep it tight. So
yeah.
But yeah, it never really anything has come up while I've done like searches, but you always just want to be careful for sure. If they're like, I want a coloring sheet about this anime, you're like, oh fuck me. Okay, here we go. You never know what's gonna happen. Okay, so there's your chest room, little one.
That's good.
Don't worry, there'll be more desk dumping stories in the future, I'm sure. Oh, the worst thing I ever found was a moldy sandwich. Like I dumped the desk and there was this horrible. Fuck. You know when they've been in bags forever and they start to grow mold, like fungus.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck! It was like black and green.
That's bad.
It was truly horrific. I left.
I would have dumped that.
What is this? And he said, "Oh, that's my sandwich." I'm like, oh my god.
Not for a long time.
It's been, you forgot it. There it was 3 months old. Oh god.
All right.
That's going to wrap it up.
This is a good episode.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Next week, I guess Leagues is live, so we can talk about the first few days.
Yeah.
You got any time off, or you're working, man?
Not for this one. Saving it up for the wedding and sheet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But maybe week 2 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks, Heartless.
See ya.